South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian.
Back up to 4,000 today and tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Again, a positive result, and I wanted to thank everybody for sticking to the rules, for respecting what's in place, because the results are evident and we can now see a definite trend forming in terms of the reduced number of cases. But I do also want to stress that sometimes it just takes a handful of people to do the wrong thing to have all this hard work go to waste. Just a handful of people doing the wrong thing can result in a spread, in a cluster forming, and all this hard work going to waste. So I please ask everybody to keep doing what you're doing. It's working. And the results are showing, and that's why I'm very pleased to be here today with the Education Minister, Minister Sarah Mitchell, also with the Secretary of the Department of Education, Mark Scott, the Head of the Catholic School System, Dallas McInerney, the Head of the Independent School System, Mr Newcomb, to announce that definitely from May 11, from week 3 of term 2, students will start going back to school. Initially, it will just be a day a week, and then progressively 2 days, and then we hope by the end of term 2 we'll be in a position to have students going back to school in a full-time capacity by term 3. Will it be the same as kids going to school under normal circumstances? No, it won't. We've made sure we've used this time not just to build up our online capacity in case children a proportion of them do need to continue learning from home, but we've also made sure we have enough hand sanitizers, soap, and all those things which make a school community feel safe, not just be safe. Schools will also have capacity for temperature checks where they think it's appropriate. There'll also be extra cleaning of playground equipment and other things during the day, and this is really to ensure not only are our school communities safe, but everybody feels safe within them, whether you're a parent, a student, and of course our teachers. And I want to, hand on heart, thank all of our parents, teachers, principals and school communities who from day one, under very difficult circumstances, took on board the government's advice, took on board what we advised them to do, and the results have been very positive because not only have we now seen children to some extent being able to learn from home, but we've also now in a position to transition back into the classroom. I'll now pass to Dr. Chant to give an update of the health overnight, and she also has some interesting statistics about the first 2,000 cases in New South Wales and how long the recovery has taken, which is very interesting analysis. And then I will ask Minister Mitchell to speak, and then I'll ask Mr Newcomb and Mr McInerney from the Independent and Catholic School Systems to also have a say. It's very important for us to make sure that all students work together and move forward together, and all school communities do so. And I really want to thank not just our public educators, but also the Catholic school system and the independent schools for being on board with the government's strategy of a staggered approach back to school, because I do feel it's important where we can that everybody in our state moves forward together, moves forward cooperatively, so that everybody feels we're in this together as we are. Thank you.
So there were 6 new cases from over 2,500 people tested in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. on the 20th April. We now have a total of 2,969 confirmed cases in New South Wales. There are currently 249 COVID-19 cases being treated by New South Wales Health, and this includes 21 people being treated in intensive care units, with 17 of those requiring ventilators. Of the 249 people being treated, 194 people are in hospital in the home or in out-of-hospital care. The Premier indicated that we've got some recovery data to announce today, and I'd like to thank the community for receiving those calls and providing their information about their recovery as well as their risk factors. So we have been ringing cases, confirmed cases, at 3 weeks after their illness onset to ask them about their COVID-19 symptoms to ascertain whether they've resolved, and also to ask about underlying health status. And we can now confirm that as of 8 p.m. on Monday the 20th of April, we've got 1,755 people that have recovered from COVID infection. A preliminary analysis of that first 2,000 case interviews has showed that half of cases recovered after 16 days, 3/4 of cases recovered after 3 weeks, and 95% of cases after 6 weeks. For those cases that have not recovered yet at the time of the phone call at 3 weeks, we will be following them up at 2 weekly intervals, and our data will continue to be updated. I suppose unsurprisingly, older people were found to take longer than younger people to recover, and there'll be more detail in the data report that we'll be releasing around this information. At the Anglicare Newmarch House Aged Care Facility, there's been one additional case, bringing the total case numbers to 42. That represents 14 staff and 28 residents have tested positive. Thank you.
Well, as the Premier has said, today we begin the process of bringing students back to school in New South Wales. We want to make it very clear to our teachers and our parents that we will be having a managed return to school during term 2. Can I thank firstly all of the teachers, the principals and the school support staff who have done an amazing job over a really difficult period of time. Their innovation and the work that they have done to move learning to at home and online has been phenomenal, and I really think we can't give them enough credit for everything that they have done across all of the sector here in New South Wales. But now it's time to turn our mind to getting our kids back into the classroom, and that's exactly the work that we've been doing. This is about making sure that families know that from week 3, as the Premier has outlined, students will begin returning 1 day a week. We will build that up throughout the term with the goal to have children back as normal for term 3. We have 2,200 public schools across New South Wales, so there will be flexibility and discretion on a school level as to how they implement this. We want them to make sure that they are having about a quarter of students on campus each day, but how they break that group up will be a matter for them. But we are asking them to certainly consider family groupings, keeping siblings together, so that will make it a lot easier for parents as we transition back to normal schooling. As the Premier also mentioned, there will be enhanced measures at our schools. We will have extra cleaning, extra sanitizer, extra health provisions including forehead thermometers and also extra health equipment in our sick bays. And we'll also be asking parents to stagger drop-off and pick-up times and recess and lunch breaks within our schools. We think that these are important measures in line with health advice that will ensure that everybody feels safe in their school environment. We're also announcing today that we will be making sure that our casual teachers continue to work during term 2. And that was something that we'll do during term 1. Obviously, with more children learning from home, we have any casuals accessing the work they used to be able to. So for term 2, any teacher who has worked casually up to 10 days a week, 10 days in term 1 of casual teaching, will be eligible to work up to 2 days per week in our schools across New South Wales. We expect what that will mean is 7,000 casual teachers and up to 3,000 school support staff will have their guaranteed work throughout the term, and that will mean that we can make this system work well so that teachers will have flexibility around what they're doing in their classroom, but also to have that extra support with casual staff coming into our schools. Can I also say that as part of what we've learned through going through the COVID-19 pandemic, there has really been some innovative teaching methods come out of this. So today I'm convening a cross-party working group. I'm going to have representatives from government schools, Catholic and independent schools come together to provide advice to me as Minister about what we've learned during this process, what we can do in terms of our teaching pedagogy and practice moving forward, because I think so much that we've learned with moving online and moving to learning from home, which we know will be a part of education in term 2, has been incredible, and it would be a shame to waste that work that has been done. So this is about tapping into what our schools have done well, making sure that we can use that innovative practice going forward in education. Today it's about certainty. It's about parents understanding that their children will be returning to school throughout this term. It's about our teachers, our principals, our school support staff knowing the plan to get there. It's about parents and students knowing that they'll continue to be engaged in their education.
首先把字幕打开，然后现在是英文字幕，然后按这个设置这个地方打这个地方，这是设置，然后点字幕，然后字幕之后点自动翻译，自动翻译翻到最下面就可以找到中文简体，然后就有中文字幕了。